Hi, folks. Welcome to the Upstate Golf Show, hosted by Kip Kirby. That would be me. And I'm here with my co-host this week, Craig McLean, the general manager and director of golf at the Edison Club. A great interview with Brian Bigley, and just got some good insight of how he's doing on the web.com tour. And it's just fascinating, again, financially, how he can do it. And it's just nice to see a local kid, go the route that he's going, Craig. And I know we got some great local kids, and I'm sure you can speak of some. What do you think? Who's the next rising star to come out of this area, do you think?
I wouldn't have an idea. And the reason I wouldn't have an idea is because my first year at Dorset, I had an assistant golf pro, and I had a kid that was there named Hans Albertson. And Hans Albertson was a #1 player in the country. He was recruited by Duke. Or not by Duke, by Wake Forest. He won the Palmer Scholarship. This was like a big, tall Swedish kid, hit 9 miles. Fantastic player. This assistant pro of mine, he thought that he thought he was going to be a player. He was going to be the player. He was going to go on. He was going to do his thing. I mean, he couldn't win an event in New England section, Vermont chapter, anything else. Hans Albertson just got a little worse each year. Just a little worse. He played 4 years at Wake Forest, had a great career, went down to play those mini tours, just got a little worse each year. He's selling insurance in Texas now. My assistant pro, I think, has made $12 million on the PGA Tour and the Senior Tour, Olin Brown.
Oh, my goodness.
And Olin Brown, you would have saw Olin Brown hitting balls on a range, and you would have said, what is this? What is he really talking about this? So when you talk about who's going to be good at golf and who's not going to be good at golf, I think of an old John Redmond line when he was asked. I was teaching with him in Titusville, and he was teaching Paul Lazinger, so it was a big deal and all this. And so these parents would come with their kids, the same deal. Who's going to be the next star? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? And they say, well, my kid. Well, how did you know Paul was going to be good? He'd think about it. He had a whole shtick he'd do, and he'd chew on his pencil. He'd say, when I knew Paul Lazinger was going to be really good? Right after he signed his scorecard at Bay Hill. And he won the tournament. I was pretty sure right then. Up to then, not too sure. But you can't tell what a kid's going to do. You can't tell what somebody's going to do. Golf's a little different deal. There's no 40-yard dash. There's no weights to lift. There's no this. There's no that. You can't throw a 95-mile-an-hour curveball. You don't know who's going to be good at golf or not good at golf. And I think part of that is what makes it so engaging for people and, so addictive.
What a great story. Again, it's the Upstate Golf Show, and I got Craig McLean here, and this is 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio. Again, speaking of some more names, just local guys that, I played a lot of golf with the Gunnings. I thought Jay was a phenomenal talent. Obviously, he's still the only guy, I believe, to qualify for the U.S. Open from here. Went to Hazeltine, and when Payne Stewart won. Brian, again, I don't think anybody's gone further. Have we? I'm sorry, you mentioned Olin Brown. And
Olin only was, I was in Vermont. He was only there for, a year or two. There was guys in New England that played good, but
how about this area though? I mean, local?
I don't have that, Ben Lord, we're just finding out. Ben Lord was a golf professional at Glens Falls Country Club early on, made the cut in 3 U.S. Opens.
Okay.
So, and we're just finding out because we're trying to kind of regroup the Northeastern New York PGA Hall of Fame, and we've missed a few people. I think we missed Ben because I think qualifying for 3 U.S. Opens and making the cut in 3 of them might get you in the Northeastern New York PGA Hall of Fame.
That should work.
So we're trying to kind of make up for that, but I'm not a great historian on this. I mean, I know the kids that could play good, and, I had the pleasure of working for Tom Gunning for 3 weeks till he fired me. So, but I thank him to this day because then, John hired me over at the Mohawk. I don't know how you get fired.
In 3 weeks. Wow.
Yeah, 3 weeks. I made it 3 weeks.
At the public golf course.
I made it 3 weeks.
Oh, must have been practicing too much or something.
I don't know. I'm not sure I ever played a hole in those 3 weeks, but.
Well, if we're going to speak of some, I'd say famous, but some people have done pretty well out of this section, we have to talk about Derek Sprague.
Yeah.
Derek, who is the president of the PGA, and I know that doesn't mean a lot to a lot of folks, But for a kid from Malone, New York, and now is going to be the director of golf at Liberty. Is that correct? Liberty National in New Jersey.
I know he's down at Liberty National. I don't want to speak to what his
exact
official,
job is.
Job title is. Derek and I go way back because I was, went through a bunch of politics in New England and ended up being the president of the New England section for a term, and so we spent a lot of time politically, arguing over PGA issues and trying to advocate for PGA professionals and our business. And it really is amazing that, Derek was elected and has done a great job serving the PGA and PGA members. And people don't know what the PGA of America is, but the PGA of America is really a great, great, great association. And I torture them, I hound them I've been hounding them for 25 years on 9 million things, but there's no prouder PGA member than I am. And as hard as we work at the clubs and courses and how much we love golf and want to promote golf for everybody and, kind of let them into our little world of how great golf is and what it can lead to. So Derek's,
but I mean, again, he's a president of the PGA, and it's coming to your 100th anniversary. So, speaking as a PGA professional, Craig, how important is this year? Well, I mean, for the PGA.
Well, I think it's a hugely important year for the Northeastern New York section because Derek is outgoing president. We will host the annual meeting where he'll be outgoing in New York City. There'll be massive amounts of publicity that you'll start to see about our 100th anniversary. And the Northeastern New York section is hosting the 100th anniversary meeting with our guy being the outgoing president. It is a little disconcerting that it's our section and the event's in New York City because it's such a big event.
It's such a big event.
And our president has taken a job in another section. But we're still there. It's ours. It's ours. You can't take it away.
Absolutely. But again, that prestige, that title of being president of the PGA, the people you hang with, not only just the PGA Tour guys, but presidents, dignitaries from all over the world. It's incredible.
It is incredible, and I'm not sure people know the access you get, and I know that that's what people see. But I would take you back a step and say, 90% of the job is going to a section meeting in Nebraska and trying to talk to guys about employment and trying to talk to guys about how to grow the game and inspire guys to inspire their assistants and bring people into the business and bring people to the game. We see Derek Sprague on the 18th green at a national championship for the PGA championship, giving out the trophy and think how cool it is. But the reality of the job is you're traveling 180 days a year to, a million different places trying to promote us as PGA professionals and likewise promote the game because promoting the game is our life.
Absolutely. It's a Upstate Golf Show hosted by me, Kip Kirby, and my co-host today, Craig McLean on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio. Craig, so let's jump to that. What's the state of the game right now? How do you feel? Are we getting new golfers? Is it, where are we? Your opinion, where the game is going?
Boy, that's a tough question. I just read, the annual the Wall Street Journal writes they've got a little golf article in the Wall Street Journal on Saturdays or something like that. And I just read the latest doom and gloom on golf and I just, will golf contract? Was golf overbuilt? Oh, absolutely. But golf's a good game. And I guess the one little thing that I'm having a little problem with, and I have to get over it, because I'm old school, I'm like the old guy, is I'm not too keen on the dumbing down of golf. I think golf's a hard game. Yeah. It takes time, and you got to learn, and you got to have some patience. And I'm not sure that patience is one of our society's or our younger people's, strongest suit when, they can't be 17 seconds away from a cell phone. That's not really the skill set for golf. And so golf will attract its people. It's what attracted me and you to it. Yep. It's hard. It's a challenge. You got to hit some balls. You got to practice. But when you do hit a good shot or you've practiced or you play a good round, it's just, it's just something that you either love it or you don't. I mean, one of the things I always love, I've given 8 billion golf lessons, and I've had, I've been doing this. This is my 36th freaking year of this.
You don't look it.
Almost incredible.
You look pretty good. But nice suit on, too.
GM gig. That'll knock you down.
I thought the golf shirt, he came in a suit, so this is impressive. This is radio. I hope you know that.
HR 101. We can talk about exempt employees, but let's skip that. If it's a hard game, it takes some time to learn. I think that's going to be at some point. I think that has an attraction. You're really rewarded for it. So I'm really upbeat about it. I mean, I see all the other things that golf and golf clubs have to be. They have to be recreational. They have to be family. They have to be social. They have to have the business element to it. I understand all that, but at the end of the day, it's still golf. And playing good golf or playing better golf. And one of the things I always have. I mean, I've heard this 1,000 times. Craig, if I would like this if I just played a little better. If I could just play a little better, I would really like this.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, you won't. No, you either like it or you don't like it.
That's right.
And trying to get people to play who don't like it, don't waste your time.
Yep.
You'd like it or you don't like it. It is a great game. It has great attributes. But when you see the people who are being pushed into it either by their parents or they're pushed into it by whatever scenario, social setting, and you like it or you don't like it. I remember getting a book out of the library in the Schenectady Public Library because there was one book on golf when I decided that I was going to try to figure out how to play golf. There's one book. I figured I'd read a book and that would cover it. It was How to Break 100, 90, 80, and 70.
I remember that.
Oh, my God. I thought 100. I had never seen any. I played at the Muni, and the Muni was great. I loved the Muni, and I played there a million times. I had never seen any break 100. I didn't think breaking 100 was a possible existence. Now, I cheated like every other hole to break 100 at some point. Broke 100, broke 90, broke 80, and broke 70. I think breaking 100 was the hardest thing that, in terms of doing that, and I loved shooting 110 just as much as I loved shooting 68. It was just as much fun, and the idea of breaking 100 was, oh my God, was that great.
No, that's great. And so, again, I got Craig McLean from the Edison Club, and you're on with Kip Kirby and the Upstate Golf Show, and we're going to come right back, and I'm going to talk to Craig a little bit about some charity events and how we can help promote some of your charity events. I know it's a big deal, and there's a lot of them out there, and maybe we can separate or give you some ideas of how you can make your event a little special. It's the Upstate Golf Show with Kip Kirby, and upcoming, we got to tell, Craig's got a great story upcoming next about Donald Trump. We'll be right back.